y'all have seen those like farmers.com.
Yes. By the way, everybody who's watching live now, we just came up with something called gun mingle or gun something. I don't know. Anyway, we're just gonna roll right with it. We kind of rolled over from our off-air chat, but welcome everybody to BigGunner81 Live, presented by Applied Arsenal Finishes and Gunworks out in Waterman, Illinois. Spinta Precision, you can check out spintaprecision.com, and also Eggleston Munitions, egglestonmunitions.com, and the range at 355. Big shout out to all you people out there who are following along on our Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, our subscribers, those that are clicking that like button and commenting on our videos. They want to, support what we're doing. Thank you all for doing that. Without, like I've said this before, without you guys out there watching, I'd just be talking to my camera, or we'd be talking to the camera, our cameras, and it would be kind of awkward and weird. But instead, we're here and getting to put some type of show together every week that we talk about guns and all types of crazy stuff, and basically have fun with it. And I'm glad that all you're out there watching. Hope you all enjoy it. For the Patreon page, if you want to support us, we're working on coming up with some new rewards and things like that for those of you that contribute. One of which is, we're going to be starting to put, the names of whoever, if you want your name posted or whatever, I guess, or just put the list of whoever's contributing through our Patreon account on the end of our videos and so forth to give some recognition to those people. And then we're also going to do some swag items and some other things that we got coming up. But it's a work in progress, and again, just like most everything. So with us tonight, we've got in the house Corey from Southern Style Beards with us.
Hi, guys.
Welcome, Corey. We got our buddy Dustin here with us.
Hey, guys.
Welcome, Dustin.
Yep.
And we got Kent from Green Mountain Defense. Welcome, Kent. You're muted, by the way.
Oh,
we didn't hear you.
I said yo, but nobody heard me. I heard my dogs.
So, like I said, we're pretty open on topics. You guys have anything you want to talk about, you're welcome to do it. I was just going to kind of start out talking a little bit about the 3D printing and gun parts and things like that. If you've been watching the Instagram, I was playing around with this. I'm just learning some of these things. Fusion 360, Autodesk Fusion 360. It's a software that's for doing like, CAD and computer-aided modeling, design, all that kind of stuff. So you can check it out. Do a Google search for it. It's downloadable where you can do, in a sense. And I'm just learning the software, by the way. So I spent about 20 minutes actually trying to do something with it versus I spent a little bit of time previously opening up some other people's files that they, posted for different parts and things that they made just to kind of explore what it, stuff looks like and whatnot. But yesterday I spent a little bit of time. I started playing around with the idea of maybe making a keychain or something. It was a swag item. Just the first try at it. I was able to actually make a little tag and stuff on it, and then with some help of Facebook, they explained how to basically take my logo and change it into being able to actually add that into the software and stuff. But you can see that on the Instagram page. There's some photos and also on Facebook. Well, I don't know if I posted on our BigGunner81 page or not, but it's on Instagram for sure. Instagram.com/BigGunner81. There's a photo of it, a screenshot of it. But I know Dustin does a lot of stuff with 3D printing and modeling and stuff. Modeling as far as, modeling of making parts and stuff like that. One of the things I'm kind of venturing off into is because I've been kicking around the idea of this, of, on machining and a little bit on doing, CNC programming and whatnot. I'd love to have a nice mill and everything. They're expensive. To get into the CNC end of it, it's quite expensive. But before I get into that end of it, I'm just going through my synopsis of it. Well, I would need to learn how to design stuff. I need to be able to do that part of it, which I've not really done much of, if anything, really with any type of CAD programs. I mean, at least not in a long, long time where I've played with anything. And usually it was like two-dimensional, I think, the last time I messed with one. But I thought was, how do I take that from a design that I'm learning how to make in a program to making a, prototype of some type, like some type of part I can actually have in my hands and kind of see, hey, this is kind of what it looks like. I was kicking around ideas, you know, what route to go with it. And I came with the idea, you know, I'm looking at maybe doing a 3D printer and trying that out. So that's something we're going to be venturing into. I don't have it yet. Be experimenting with. Just in a little bit that I've been learning from rewatching other people's videos, doing some reading, and there's some other research and this and that. There's a lot of little tips and tricks and things. I know there's going to be a learning curve with it. It's not as simple as just getting a printer, plugging it in, and hey, I'm going to take this part and make it well. You know, and Dustin knows. You know,
that's how I got my printer cheap. My printer was like, I run a FlashForge Creator Pro, and it's only about $800 to $1,000. Yeah, I picked it up for like $550, and it's because of that. A father and son thought that, hey, they could hit Control P for print, and it would make a part, like it would make a delicious cake, but it didn't. So that's how I got mine, and I made a lot of stuff with it, a lot of stuff. And it's cool because it's a printer, so if something breaks, you more or less can like make a part to repair it because all the parts are plastic in it, or the metal.
Right.
I mean, the only thing that's really metal is like the actual axes, the guide rods that the carriage, if you will, rides on. But
buddy James jumped in with us. Hey, welcome, James. Has 3D printers as well. Just get you in the mix. Yeah, right behind us, got a couple different options there. Nice. So, I'm sure you can hear us, but can we hear you? Because I didn't hear you talk yet. So, we got no audio coming out of you, James. You have to probably mess with your settings, get everything set up. But
is he mute?
We'll come back in a minute once he gets that figured out. But anyway, speaking of 3D printing a part for your 3D printer that Dustin was just mentioning, one of the things I came across on order right now was one of the things that they recommend upgrading is adding to it is a fan type setup to like cool like around the nozzle area of it. Mm-hmm. And again, I'm still learning all this stuff, but they show a really cool design that takes like a fan that it kind of like looks like a C almost, kind of wraps around it, and it has little holes in it that just blow the air out all the way around the nozzle. I'm like, that's a pretty cool setup. And they 3D printed that part. You know, of course, the guy who did it was showing this. He got the design off of I think it's like Thingiverse or something like that, or Thingiverse.com. It's a website that's out there for different types of files for CAD and CAM or whatever you want to call it. And so he showed that, you know, you can download this, and he's like, I printed on my better 3D printer that I have over here, and then I, you know, put it on here, and it improved the drawing. It was, or this person talked about in his video was, every time I get a 3D printer, I'm setting it up. I do a 20 by 20 millimeter, I think it is, cube, quality of the print, and then he had seen. And what's nice is about doing a test print is you're like, hey, this is how it came out. This is what's crappy about it. Fan on it. This is how it comes out now afterwards. Let's change this setting. You tweak it and get it to where it's going to be. Of course, in my opinion, and again, my opinion is only based on limited knowledge of things I've seen other people do, that, we lost Kent there. You know, the quality of 3D printing on most of these machines is not going to be like, you know, a production level part. It's still going to have those textures and the edges and things on it. 3D printed part.
Yeah, you can always put you can put it in like a not a vat, but like an acetone. I think
I've heard acetone will kind of round the edges a little bit and stuff.
Yeah, there was something where I've never done it because it's just, to me it's a 3D part, so it's a prototype part.
Right.
Like for instance, and this is no secret, Dasher, a 6 Dasher is a very short, fat round. You can't really get it to feed reliably from a ACI smack, so that's a Accuracy International chassis system pack.
Get some feedback there.
I
don't know who's through. Give me 1 second. We'll see if we can fix it. All right, it went away just now, so I don't know if it's from James. Oh, it's James. He's putting his hand up. I I know Kent was, Kent's got earbuds in, so he's all right. Sorry, that happens from time to time.
But
You say about Dasher?
What I did is I just made I basically made a spacer, and that's sweet. So Ken's 3D printers, and I just made a spacer, and it works great. Now my friends want me to make them one, and I'm like, guys, like, I don't mind making y'all one, but I know how it's going to be. Their friends are going to be like, oh, where'd you get it? My friend Dustin. And they're like, no, make me one. But, it's cool because it took me maybe 5 hours to, like, really dial it in. One be too loose, one be too tight. I mean, you could sand it down to make it fit and whatnot, but it's cool. I mean, and as far as technology goes, with the different filaments they've got filaments that are carbon fiber. They've got one called Ninjaflex, which is basically it prints out like a cube, and then like you can squish it like a stress ball, release it, and it goes back to its shape. It's a pain in the ass to print with, excuse my language, but it's cool. It's very, very cool. They have filament that has impregnated wood, steel. I mean, there's a host of different types of filaments as far as exotic filaments. Then you have
that's what I'm trying to figure out too. What are the limitations of the particular printer that I'm getting? Like, what can I print with it? What can't I print with it? As far as the materials.
The biggest thing is like to upgrade your nozzles to like a Swiss what do you call it? Like Swiss macro, I believe. And basically it's just an all metal nozzle that can handle higher heat. And pretty much that's the only thing I've really done performance-wise to my printer, and it works. There you go. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Oh, wow.
Can you hear me now?
Yep, can hear you now.
Okay, so this is off the Luzbot Taz series. This is a Taz 6. Now, the great thing about this is the majority of parts on this print head are 3D printed. So it's open software, so you can actually figure a way and make your own printed heads, and as long as they fit the format. So that's what's great about 3D printing. 80% of the parts on the machine are 3D printed. So in answer to a lot of the questions you guys had, and what he was talking about is this is an all-metal hot end. And he's correct in the higher the temperature it'll handle, the wider array of materials you can print. And the nozzle is this small little brass piece right here. So this is the hot end, and that's the nozzle. Now, you can get different size nozzles depending on what material and how fine you want it to go. But what's great about it is you see the orange box right there?
Yeah.
Okay, that actually does photo-sensitive resins.
And that is cool.
You can get it down to 0.25 microns. So as far as prototyping and design, you can get this stuff to come out, and the great thing about it, once again, is like with my company, this actually started off as a 3D prototype. And what was nice about it is this is now injection molded, but I could print as many of these, take them to the range, test fit them, break them, and then turn around and 3D print it that night and try it out the next day until I got to the point where my production was already done. And like he was talking about, little spacers, parts, even adapters for, stocks, whatever the case may be. Software is free. And as far as your machine, you're pretty much only limited to your temperature. And I just got to cover certain temperatures and materials. You actually have to keep the temperature more even. If you don't, what will end up happening is the part will cool rapidly in one spot, while it's still in another, and that's what causes warping. So, like, I just got a shipment in, so here's a big roll of filament. And
I didn't think about that, the whole temperature being even across it.
Yeah, and this is the new Ultralight Printhead. So the lighter the printhead with the all-metal hot end, if your printer's going like this, you get those striations because you got to stop and think. It's melting plastic, but it's jerking like this. So the heavier the printhead, the more variations you have. So the lighter it is, the more precise they can get it to go back and forth without it jerking around.
And you mentioned about being able to rapid prototype with it, but we're seeing a lot more companies that are doing 3D printed, like smaller companies usually, where they're because 3D printing does take time, as we know. I mean, those who don't know, it takes time to print stuff depending on how big the piece is and whatnot. But we're seeing things like magazine extensions. What else? Like magwells for your pistols being made out of the PLA material and whatnot. All types of little things.
There's a machine right there, and you see that little round thing on top. The spindle of that is made out of nylon. So one of the on the end of the table will actually print a very high density, very strong nylon. So a lot of the parts that they're making tend to be in higher density materials as nylon. Nylon would probably be the best one. And they can do those parts and sell them for $10. And if it breaks, they say, hey, send it back and we'll send you a new one, because the cost per roll is nothing compared to the price that they're selling those little parts for. So they're not trying to rob or chip anybody. It's just that, hey, they're taking the time to make sure the parts come out exact. They're buying the machines, they're testing the pieces, and then adding in, different fittings to make sure that they stick. And it's a great way to start, because once they get to the point where they're selling enough, they can turn around and get them injection molded, drop their prices, and they can make as many as they want.
Mm-hmm.
So
very true.
I have a question for either Dustin or James or whoever. If somebody wants to start like bare bones, I know nothing about any of this. Where do I want to go? Where do I want to start to learn about 3D printing in general? What's that?
Go to your local college. I started off, and this is what I did. I used my GI Bill. I said, what do you want to do? And it's like, well, is it like a hot oil bikini class thing, physiology and stuff, and like viscosity? And they said no. So then they said, okay, well, what about, do you like mechanical stuff? I said, sure. So I am working on my associates in digital manufacturing.
Cool.
And that's where I went and I did AutoCAD, SolidWorks, Inventor, and then they have side courses to where they will put you in a 3D print lab for a semester, and you will have to run parts, design parts, proof parts, and the colleges already have all the machines. So if you go to the college, there's tons of people there. There's always those people that are career students, and and they will sit there and they will help you out. And there was a guy in there that designed an AR-10 with another guy, and they were working on their same thing, and they actually can print out a receiver, and see if it'll work. The concept of the pieces will make together. They had an interesting locking design. So, and then you go on the internet, and then you invest. So I actually emptied my safe out. I had a ton of guns. I started selling guns. And I was like, okay, so what gun can I live without? Well, truly none of them, but I had to live without some. And I bought a printer. And then I started practicing. And the best thing about it is you go through the college, your GI Bill pays for it. If you need to get a job later on down the road, you're already doing AutoCAD, SolidWorks, Draftsman, and you're doing 3D printing. So you're not just kind of wasting your time. Otherwise, it's going to be a trial and error. Go to forums, visit through web pages, and unless you know somebody that's really into 3D printing.
Hey, I want to give a quick shout out to everybody out there watching on YouTube, and it's going to be back on our main channel here. Basically on BigGunner81. But we also do post the videos up on the BigGunner81 Live channel that we started during our short stint of being banned from doing live stream on this channel. But I want to give a shout out to Sean Callanan. I'm going to mess up his name. I'm so bad with names. Sorry, Sean. Patriot the Dark. CSB Lou. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Who else on here? Wheelchair Warrior. Which someone, I guess, was checking out his truck, I guess, on his page. It says he got a badass truck. So I don't know. I have to go check that out later and see what he's got going on. But thank you guys out there watching, and Also, to our friends who are on gunchannels.com, we got Rob and Raphael and Doug and someone else out there watching as well. If you guys got questions or comments or any thoughts on the whole 3D printing, making gun parts and designing and stuff, feel free to chime in and ask your questions out there on YouTube land and gun channels. Like I said, this is something that's a little bit slightly off tangent, but still part of, when it comes to, for the firearms segment, because all this stuff comes from somewhere, and it comes from design and manufacturing, and I think it's interesting stuff. And again, like I said, I just want to kind of dabble in it for fun. And I think my thought was a 3D printer is one way to kind of get into making a concept into something that's physically, you're able to put, physically in your hands, and so forth. And in some cases, it could be a usable model. Otherwise, CNC machining or trying to mill something, you're looking at a great cost and expense. It's even beyond what most of the entry level, I guess, budget level 3D printers go for. Mm-hmm. Other thing I was going to mention too, I'm on the tangent of the budget part of this. There's laser engraving. You see a lot of guys doing stippling on grips and things like that. That equipment that's required, as I found out really fast, is very expensive. I mean, we're talking like in the $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 range, whatever, from my understanding. There might be some other options out that I'm not aware of, but those types of lasers that can actually engrave into metals and engrave into like the heavier, plastics or the tougher plastics and polymers or whatever you want to call them, those are quite costly. But they do have like laser engravers, or more like laser markers, I guess. I don't know how to really word it. That you can get that
great for like for doing like serial numbers, and like if you have a piece of wood and you're trying to make like, I don't know, like a logo onto something to give.
Yes, that's what I'm. Yeah, exactly.
Like the Chinese, like, it's called a K40. It's like $400. That's great for if you have like an anodized part, like metal. There's a guy that I spoke with for one of the groups on Facebook, and he bought one. It's $400, and he actually like shotgun parts, and that's what he does. He gets them back, he mills them out, gets them back, and that's what he uses to like engrave their patent number or what gun they're for or what shotty they're for, and etc. So I mean, they work. A buddy of mine in Winston-Salem has one marked with NC engravers.
You're gonna have to share that link. You said about $400, so they'll actually mark metal.
It will mark metal, but it doesn't like go deep. Like it doesn't go as deep as like ATF regulations. Like my buddy Mark's, right? It will actually. We're talking about there's trapezoid cutouts earlier. Like his will actually cut down into the metal, and like you just basically take the chunk of metal out and like and just drop it. I mean, it's pretty cool stuff. He does honeycomb and all that stuff. Check him out.
That is cool.
Work.
Going back to some of the design stuff, so I don't know if y'all can see that.
Oh, cool.
This is going to be coming out here soon. And that little claw piece actually locks up on a lot of things. But there's a Tavor handle. And as far as prototyping, it actually is functional because you can make workable parts. And this is an ABS. So this is strong enough to take to the range. And I just had a video, I posted a video. A girl was shooting this off an ammo can. And, it was stable, wasn't moving. So it could take the impulse of this firing all day long. So you can use this to develop parts.
What material is that one?
ABS.
Okay.
ABS, the machine is it's a sealed unit, so ABS keeps the temperature controlled. But there's a lot of machines now, and you got to be careful and read the fine print. You can turn one of these, replace the printhead with a laser engraver because it's already got the set. But then you got to make sure, and a lot of people don't realize this, but CO2 emissions from lasers, adequate ventilation, safety precautions. So there's actually a story here, I think 2 years ago, a couple had a laser engraver and they were doing arsenic press in their house, but the laser had a malfunction. They went to sleep and let it run throughout the night, and it filled the house with CO2. And
wow.
They didn't wake up. So, and it's stupid things like that. But there are, especially when you get into higher powered lasers and stuff, you need to really look at the fine print.
That's good to know. I never even thought that'd be an issue, but I know ventilation when it comes to like certain metals or I'm sure materials rather. If you're using a laser, heat them up or this or that, you're heating up material, you're going to get some gases off of it of some type that you probably don't want to be breathing either. So ventilation is important. But yeah, what I was going to say is I've seen, like for example, the particular printer that I have on order right now. There's a video where a guy takes and you can get a little lower wattage like lasers. That's more or less for like marking on like softer plastics and papers and wood, which would be kind of cool. If you want to do a set of wood grips or something and put a logo on it or a graphic on it, you can do that. And to add this piece onto the printer or to basically adapt it for that usage, you're not looking at a whole huge expense because most of the equipment is already there in a sense, meaning you have the frame, you have the stepper motors, you have everything that's going to do all the motion part of it. Wondering how do you control the intensity of the laser and the on-off, functions of the laser and that sort of thing. And what was interesting enough was that this one, particularly how they wired it up was using the cooling fan, because you basically take the print head off of the machine, using the cooling fan circuit. So you're basically wiring the, from my understanding again, of course, and I want to try this at some point because it'd be kind of cool. You're wiring the drivers for the laser into that cooling fan driver on the printer. And so there's software that you can use that'll actually change the command so that it'll turn on and off the cooling fan, which is now the laser, so that you have the X and Y motion and all that stuff and the motion to it, and the laser turns on and off to do the burning and etching, or what I call it, or engraving, carving, whatever terminology you want to use. I thought that was pretty cool. I'm like, I want to experiment with this and try it. I know that with any of this stuff, it's going to be a trial and error, a learning curve, no matter what you do with it. And I like that challenge. Some people will look at it and get intimidated by it, and rightfully so. It can be intimidating, but I just think it'd be kind of fun to play with, and learn something from it. And you could do something that's actually functional, whether it's putting a graphic on something or making a little widget or whatever that's useful in some way. But the creative aspect is there, and you can make it and mold it into whatever you want, which I think is really awesome. So I'm excited about it. I'm looking forward to experimenting with it. I'm also looking forward to learning some of the limitations of it as well. Oh yeah, one of the things is I've seen one of the comments here from Wheelchair Warriors. I've heard people say that they used a wood burner for stippling. Oh, that's very true. There's people that use wood burners for stippling. You can do stippling by hand. The thing is, with from my understanding, what I've seen is with doing a stippling on, like, say, a Glock frame, that the repeatability, you have the repeatability factor. So if you want to have like two look pretty much the same, you can do that. Two, it's the quality factor, I guess. You don't have the human error part of it. Some people prefer that though.
It's like a trade. I mean, people that actually do this and they're the ones that do it by hand. I mean, to me, they're up there. I mean, they're artisans. I mean, it's art. There's a fine art to it. I mean,
and some people prefer that.
I've taken those soldered irons and made tips and like did PMags and stuff, but man, that stuff gets boring and it gets old fast for somebody like me. Like, my attention span is that of a goldfish.
I did that. I started stippling a mag to try it out one day on a thermal mag that I was like basically playing around with, and modified a Magpul follower for and everything to get it to run. There's videos on my YouTube channel here. Just for fun, I was doing this. I'm thinking, damn, this could be very mind-numbing, trying to put all these little dots in order and make it all pretty and do some cool stippling. It came out really nice. I like it. I don't think I even finished the whole mag, or I might have finished the parts of it that I wanted to do. I don't remember, but it was cool. But two things. One, it's boring and time-consuming.
It's very tedious.
Tedious. And you also have to deal with the friggin' fumes, like we were talking about earlier, about ventilation and everything. I was doing this I think I was doing it in my basement at the time. And I'm like, yeah, this isn't really the best way to do this. I need to have like some airflow in here. But yeah, it's the laser. I like that idea because it's nice, neat, fast, and repeatable, and you can you can actually you're still not losing the whole artist aspect of it because somebody has to sit there and design the pattern they're going to use. You just get rid of all the how I say it, the inconsistencies of doing it by hand, which some people will like, and there's nothing wrong with that. But you also you lose that human touch to it, but on the same token, you can also create something that's different than what you might not be able to do by hand. It's a debate, though. I mean, whichever way you want to look at it. And wheelchair warrior says, I'd never try it. I'm assuming you would never try doing the stippling part of it.
Yeah, I mean,
it's fun. You know what?
Imagine how many magazines that people have started or pistols that they had started that they didn't finish. I mean, it's like you can start doing one of those. Ever watch TV at night? You see Sarah McLachlan with like Adopt a Pet. Imagine that, but like, here's a mag that hasn't been finished. For $1 a day, you can finish this mag.
Adopt a mag. Adoptamag.com. That's the new site. Buy mags.
I got a Glock 19 frame that's been 2/3 done for 3 years.
See what I mean?
Oh,
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. They all started and no finish it. Damn it.
I want to show you guys an example of the detail that'll come out on some of these printers. So,
on a low quality webcam, but at least gives an idea.
Hold on.
What's the flashing?
Yeah, what the hell?
That's
is that Optimus Prime?
No, it's
Corey.
It's like a mech bot.
Yeah, it's
this is light underneath it. I see now.
Yeah, but the point being is this: you can actually make optically clear. So if I wanted to do something for lens covers or whatever, you could actually print this out.
That thing looks like an alien that's going to take over the world, man. I'm scared.
Yeah. What kind of material is that again?
This is a photo resin, but the detail on it was what I was trying to show.
What kind of cost frame are you like what is the cost on like a printer of that style?
$4,000.
I know it's a lot.
$4,000.
Yeah, I figured it was.
Is that the
way
STL
more.
printer you got in the back?
Those are TAS 6, Ultimaker 3, and the Form 2 Labs.
Yeah,
Form Lab.
That's the STL, right? Or
no, it's a SLS.
SLS, okay. Yeah, no, I saw there's like advertised real hard on YouTube. I was like, oh man, like there's a great, like, let me look how much it is. And I looked it up and I was like, oh, never mind.
Well, I was checking out like the place. Let me tell you how and again, I don't have it yet, so I don't know how well it's going to be. I know we've kind of discussed it. I'm thinking it's probably going to be a decent entry level unit. Gearbest.com is where I picked it up from. The reason why I picked out the one I did is a friend of mine got one recently, but it got a different one, and I started researching that one a little bit, and it looks like a nice unit. But another Facebook friend of mine was using the one that I've got coming now, and we started talking about it. I started watching some of the videos, and what I liked about it was the sturdiness of the frame. It seems pretty beefy, and my thought is with anything CNC and it has movement, you want it to be structurally tight. You don't want movements, vibrations, because that can affect the quality. So I figured I'd give this a try, and we'll see how it comes out. Plus the price. It was about $100 less than the other one that had a little bit larger print area, but yet the frame was a little bit thinner looking to me. Granted, it might be just as rigid. I can't say because I don't have both to compare it. But I had to kind of jump in at some level, and I couldn't go to the $1,000 level of buying a much nicer unit. Which I assume now, learning too about the temperature thing and being in an enclosed box, it makes a lot more sense too. That might be a way to get better quality prints, possibly.
Actually, that's good that you said that because this was pretty cool.
As he walks away. Yeah, it's pretty cool. See you later, guys.
Might as well have some fun. So without breaking the bank, this little tent frame style thing is actually designed to hold the heat in. So this actually goes like that.
You put a plastic bag over your head there?
Yeah, well, this is the printer thing. So your printer goes inside.
I got you. So it's like a tent for your printer. Like,
yeah.
So let me ask this too then. That's something you could pick up like for universal fit type of deal to cover it up?
Yeah. They're $80 too, which is really cost effective.
That's like almost a quarter of the cost of my machine.
It is, but at the same time, you know, it's definitely worth it.
So that $80 I could have put towards getting a better machine that had an enclosure with it.
I mean, you can honestly take a cardboard box and put it as an enclosure. I mean, just something to keep more or less the heat in. Like,
yeah, to keep the warmth in it.
Yeah, so like what I'll do is I'll start the another item that you can get is a glass bed. Those are awesome to have. I typically
is a glass bed just basically a sheet of glass, right?
No, it's a different. It's not like glass. It's like a window pane out of your like window. It's a special type of glass that can handle like high heat. No, I don't say high
like
heat.
A tempered glass or something.
No, it starts with a B.
I have to look at this because I saw that and I'm like, that'd be a nice upgrade.
You what?
Borosilicate glass.
There you go. Because I actually called some glass people around here, and they're like, I don't know what that is." I'm like, "You're a glass company, and like you deal with glass, and you don't know what this is."
You guys remember Pyrex? We used to have those Pyrex measuring cups. They were it would take scalding hot water without shattering. And like casserole dishes are tend to be made out of Pyrex, and it's just it's just a material that will accept a great deal of heat without shattering. So you got to think that some of these printers heat up to 300 degrees Celsius. Well, they can go up that high. But usually like 240 degrees Celsius. So that's close to 500 degrees. So you have to have a glass surface that will actually take that heat over a consistent period of time. Borosilicate glass is much, I guess it's a stronger glass that's able to handle the heat. So, and you can buy them cheap. You can get multiple pieces. And then they'll have like ceramic heating plates that are built in. So borosilicate glass, ceramic heating plate, and that will heat the glass plate. So when you print
I believe the one I'm getting has a heated bed. I assume they don't all have heated beds?
Mm-mm.
Okay. No. Yeah, because I believe it has a heated bed on it, so that would make sense. That'd be kind of cool.
Well, like I said, I honestly think that the way things are going right now, they've solved the issue with metal particulates when they're doing 3D printing. So they usually talk about 3D printing aluminum powder, steel powder. They're having a problem to where the cooling rate between that just came out of the printhead would cool faster than it would cool at different temperatures. So you would print the part out and then go like this, and it would just snap.
Oh,
so
wow.
Now they use nanoparticles. So they're using nanoparticles inside to insulate the aluminum or the steel. And as you're printing it, it comes out evenly heated. So it totally fuses across the thing. So now you can literally print fully bonded aluminum and steel parts.
So here's a question for both of you guys. I'm going to ask, actually, James, I'll ask you this one first, and I'll let Dustin answer this too. As far as 3D printing, is there a particular, let's say as a beginner, a particular type of filament or brand or anything we should look for in the filament that you'd recommend, I guess, the way to put it? I'm assuming PLA is probably the way to start out with, the polylactic acid stuff. So, James, do you have a particular one you...
The PLA, because it's stupid cheap, and it actually has good thermodynamics, so it'll print even, it's very low warpage. But the problem is with PLA is if it's like something you use in the house, it's fine. You leave it out in the sun, it'll warp, it'll melt. It doesn't necessarily have a super high strength. But like, let's say you're just using it to test that part to make little widgets. It works fine. People use it all the time. It works good. Because you got to stop and think. Nylox, which is what I have in nylon, PLA you can get as cheap as $50 a roll. The nylon was $80 a roll.
Wow.
And some of the material, the more exotic it gets, the higher up the price it goes. The Foam Labs printers, it's $150 to $200 per liter of photo run.
Wow. Okay.
So, you want to do something super high end, I would recommend printing it at something super cheap to make sure it prints right. and you might have to change the orientation of a metal to get it to where the surface is print. Check out your supports. PLA is a great way to go. It's a great starter material. And then from there, if it prints out fine, then try out a different material.
Okay. And Dustin, what do you have to say on that part of it too, as far as the type of material or any type of brand or product to start out with?
I mean, I started out with ABS, so I kind of jumped off in the deep end, and the only reason I did it was because that's the filament the guy had when I bought my the printer from the dad. I thought that he could just hit print and it just makes an object. I haven't done PLA because, yeah, I mean, as he was saying, leave it out in the sun. I mean, it doesn't have the strength that I was looking for because I was actually using the parts that I was making.
Right.
And as far as like manufacturers out there, I mean, I buy off of Amazon, like East, I think it's Eson. I mean, I'm just out there I'm not making anything to sell. I'm just prototyping.
Okay. Let me ask this question too. Speaking about going from PLA to using like like I said, Nylox or nylon type material or whatever. When you have to service the print head itself, like to change between materials, I assume is it like a process to like go ahead and purge that out?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what you do is purge it out.
Okay, I have to learn how that actually works. Is it just like forcing it, not forcing it, but feeding it by hand through the thing, or is it like
no? You actually there's a servo with a gear on it.
Okay.
That feeds the filament through the nozzle, and really what you do is when you take it out, yeah. So like when you take it out, you just basically tell the printer to reverse the gear. It pulls it out, and then when you put your new one in there, you just kind of like say if I'm going from white to blue, and I put the blue in, and I hit like I'm purging the blue in, it actually will come out white, and then it'll come out light blue, very light blue, and as it progresses out, it finally turns the actual color of the filament. So that's when I know, hey, it's cleaned itself out.
Okay. And is there a way, speaking of the different colors of filament, is there a way to actually stop in the partway in the print and continue with a different type of filament? Like not type, but sorry, different color of filament?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's all in your programming. Like just ease of conversation, and again, because it talks like in millimeters. So if you have a part and you're working with 3 colors and your part height is like 6 millimeters, you can program it to only print 2 millimeters, do a color change, then print 2 more millimeters, and then do another color change or last color, and then do the other color change. Like I used to make like scope levers for me and my friends, and one of them was a police officer, so his was of course like black, blue, and black.
Right.
A buddy of mine he's a shooter for Action International. He had a like an American type Action International rifle, so he got a red, white, blue, which ironically, people thought it was the French flag because how the colors were. I'm like, no, it's American, man. But yeah, it's all in your programming. I mean, really, it's just.
So it doesn't have a problem that later might have cooled off a little bit between switching out the filament.
I mean, like with me, what I do is I keep the printer bed on. So when I go to do a print, I'll turn the heater bed and the extruder on and leave it on for like 20 or 30 minutes to kind of let the heat build up in the enclosure. And then when I switch, there's like a little door, if you will, in the back, which I can just stick my hand through and like do what I need to do with it. So I'm not like opening up the cover, taking the top cover off. I'm trying to keep the heat in there. But yeah, it's all like in how you set it up and how you go about things, really.
Okay. Interesting. I was just kind of curious because I've seen that. I'm like, I wonder if you can do that or if you just pretty much have to print it all in that one color and until it runs out. Now, what happens? I guess it depends on the machine too. What happens if you run low on filament as you're doing a print? Can you like?
Well, there's a couple of things, and this is where the money comes in. Like high-end machines will actually have a pause function. So you can pause printing, and you can pause printing, switch on a roll real quick, and then turn around and resume print, or resume printing that thing. And one thing you got to be careful is if you get a good solid layer adhesion from the point of where you left off. So
Okay.
sometimes, and I don't know if this is happening with Dustin, you'll miss a color and then you'll come back and then it'll have a split or crack on that switch. It just depends. So the other thing is if you go with dual printers, dual printheads, you can automatically switch two colors just as it's printing.
Oh, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Switch the two colors into the parent.
Yeah, so like
Awesome.
the Flash Forge, the Creator Pro, and they have a few others. It came with dual extruder heads, but that's a lot of inertia. You're moving back and forth, especially if you're doing like a rapid move. So I just and I didn't use to because it's kind of a pain in the butt to set up. It can be. So I just took it off. And when you're talking about that fan, that's where the fan that blows onto the nozzle sits at. So it doesn't have that weight anymore. So you can actually move the printer head faster. So I can decrease my print time. Can't decrease it too much, but decrease it enough.
They give a shout out to real quick on here on our YouTube. Patriot the Dark says, "Hey, I got to cut out. Definitely be watching the replay. Great stuff. Thank you for the kind words. Appreciate you all watching out there again, and glad to be back on this part of the channel, and that you guys are all out there hanging out and checking out what we do. So, figured we bring in something a little bit different, but still on the topic of firearms. Something that I'm kind of exploring, and I know these guys had experience with, so it kind of works out really well to have them on. And I appreciate, all of you guys being on. I know Corey's being kind of quiet, but taking it all in as usual. He's probably working on some homework over there.
Yep, sure I am.
But always love to have him on here hanging out with us either way. And Kent's here with us too, and of course, and it's good just having this open conversation about this stuff.
Dude, it's fine. Corey and I feel like the dumb kids at math class. We're used to this shit.
No, but you guys got questions, ask them. If you're if you're interested in knowing something, I appreciate it. I know you asked something earlier, because that's what it's all about: sharing this information, learning from each other. Just having fun with shooting and all that stuff. That's what we're here for.
This stuff to me, like, this is American ingenuity at its finest, man. Like, you boys just sitting in your garage being like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to make that. Like, God bless you. That's awesome. I'm not sure if I've got the skills for it necessarily or the patience, but those of you guys that do, rock on. That's cool stuff. Like, they'll never be able to restrict our freedoms entirely if you guys can just go, you know what? The hell with it. I'll make my own part.
I'd tell you what the challenge is. Yes.
What's that company that came out? They made it they made an SPR with the stuff. It's been like the hottest news like on Facebook.
From Franklin Armory.
How is that actually passing? Has the ATF approved this, or are they still like?
Yeah. Supposedly approved it. There's some speculation on how it's been done.
Well, basically, Black Aces Tactical, Mossberg, and Remington got the shockwaves and all that. The receiver is registered as a firearm, not a shotgun. And there's little caveats. It says it has to fit in this little small category, and you can't register it as a rifle when you produce it or a pistol. You register the receiver as a firearm. And once they've sent that into the ATF under a firearm, then it doesn't fall into any of those categories.
Well, there's speculation that the trigger is what might possibly be putting, if I remember right, from listening to some other channels. I wish I could tell you what channel that was I was watching the other day. The speculation was that the style of the trigger is what kind of set it apart.
Well, there was also speculation that it was maybe not an entirely rifled barrel and overall length and this and that.
Yeah.
The bottom line is this, is that these boys found a loophole. They read through all the black tape and the paperwork and everything else. And they said, you know what? We're going to call up Uncle Trump, and Uncle Trump says it's okay, so screw you people. We're going to make this thing.
Here's one of the things I'll add to that too.
Right?
You get down to and it might not come out right what I'm trying to say, but because you can, should you? I guess is one way to put it. There's some people that play that fence. I'm all for it. I love guns, right? Okay. But I'm saying some people will say,
walking that line on the fence.
Yeah. There's some people that are like, well, if you walk the line on the fence, that's when these people are going to be like, hey, this is something new to go after, But then what the hell,
I mean,
if you don't walk that line, don't push the envelope, we're not going to get to where we would prefer to be. You know,
I mean, it's true. I mean, the way you look at it, I mean, like you guys just said, like you're on the fence. When you say it like that, it's like you're at a ball game. You have hundreds of people along the fence line back there, waiting for that person to hit a home run and get the home run ball. I mean, let's just pretend that the FTA, that's the batter, and they've got these little loopholes here, and the loopholes are the baseball coming to you, and the lucky person that gets the baseball has the loophole and eventually ends up making the money and things like that because they successfully passed against it. So, right. I mean, it's cool that someone can defy the odds and defy the government to where it's still legal to do it.
Mm-hmm. The biggest
Corey, did you just contribute without using a Miley Cyrus analogy?
I did. Yeah.
Oh, good Lord!
It's a party in the USA.
Right until then.
Party in the USA, baby.
Hey, I was going to say earlier something, and I totally forgot what it was. No, I know what it was. It was mentioning about more power to the guys that can do the manufacturing type stuff and whatever on their own. One thing I found as a challenge, two parts of this. One is the knowledge. We need to keep up with that, with teaching other people, how to make things, how to do things hands-on. Otherwise, that gets lost. That's why a lot of millennials nowadays can't figure out how to do things. You can't read a friggin' map. I have to have my phone. If I don't have my phone, I'm friggin' lost.
Hey, what about Oregon passing where they had to go pump their own gas now?
Yep, I was just going to bring it up.
What?
Yeah, it's like, how the heck do you pump your own gas, right? And, yes, I never knew that there was a state that was like a rule or a law or whatever I call it until then. But the second part of this is, I was going to say, challenges are like, the chemistry. Like, okay, so you run out of ammo. How do you make certain, powders and things? I mean, that's something on a whole another level. I mean, yeah, you could build the firearm. You can learn how to do that. I mean, hell, there's people who have built a single shot shotgun out of some 3/4 inch inner diameter pipe and some pieces from the hardware store for a couple bucks. That's doable. But the cartridge that goes inside of it, how do you construct that when you don't have the chemical or chemistry background to do that? That's another aspect of it I'd consider. Black powder, I mean, you could find information on that.
Here's one for you. Just wait till they come out with a printable nitrocellulose or a derivative like a suspended nitrogen-based fuel that you could print inside the casing. So basically, a caseless ammunition, so you're printing the body of the round.
Your audio is really bad for some reason.
How about now?
Much better.
Okay.
I think. Yes, you need to talk with that distance now. That's what I'm like. What the hell? Everyone's like, your audio is horrible. We can't understand you.
A lot of printable materials are coming out with. So just imagine a nitrocellulose or gunpowder style material that is suspended in a plastic. So when you ignite it, it'll all burn out. But now you can make the casing instead of using brass. You just 3D print casings. With a little divot for the primer, and you can basically make your own rounds. The G11, the Germans tried it. But
a shotgun.
Yeah, why not?
I mean, they used to have cardboard casings. I saw
paper.
Yeah, paper or cardboard paper, whatever. Yeah, but yeah, basically. So I mean, but I don't know if you can do metallic style casings like your 9mm, or you'd be able to do that. I don't know.
If you can do an aluminum, if you can print in brass, and it's brass particles suspended in plastic, why couldn't you?
I don't know. Depends if it'll hold up. I guess but you're saying about the powder though, the powder charge itself, primer. Yeah, how are you gonna make the primer too?
Lead azide.
I have no idea what you just
said.
See,
I told you it was lead azide. I just told you that in chat. I told you. James, you're way too smart for us, man. You are on the wrong show. You need to be with Bill Nye, the Science Guy.
Hey, you know he's actually not a scientist.
He's a joke.
Who, Bill Nye?
Dr. Phil's not a doctor.
My man.
I'd rather sit with Dolph Lundgren.
Oh boy.
That
Let's
dude's
get
got,
highbrow around here.
yeah, MIT.
Corey, can you spell MIT?
Well, I'm not that smart yet. Hopefully, one day.
Oh, by the way, he's commenting. Wheelchair Warrior out there on YouTube is saying, "I'm amazed the insurance commercial where the kid doesn't know what he says light, but I think he means lug wrenches." Yeah, you see it all the time.
Yeah.
Hey, that's another good point. There's a gentleman. He's on Facebook, and he actually is 3D printing on an industrial machine.
A lug wrench?
Well, no, they're kind of are. They're for the lungs on like the Airwolf suppressors, because he wanted a wrench on there that you could torque it down without marring up the suppressor or over tightening the caps and cross threading them or doing something like that. And he's actually been doing a great job. And he designed them, and they work on a variety of different suppressors, and they work well. So, you can do that. And this guy is like, hey, and he's been featured on Soldier Systems Daily. And what's the other one? But
Wow.
It's another thing.
What's that? You're grabbing something, or what were you doing? I heard you say another thing.
Oh, sorry. I just got a flash message traffic.
Okay, so just like paused. I'm like, okay, what happened? We're just gonna have a moment of silence.
Stop and think about it. Like the guys that make the carbon barrels, Proof Research.
Yep.
Why couldn't at one point, if you got the right machines, 3D print barrels?
Damn.
I mean, the steel too. I mean, that might be a challenge. I don't know.
Well, no, because it's steel, but you get the steel and you can custom 3D print.
Oh,
around.
you mean 3D print around it with the carbon fiber? That'd be cool.
Or you could do intricate designs. I mean, literally, it's getting to the point right now where they are printing in titanium.
Wow.
I mean, no. I don't think everybody in the States got enough money to pay for that bad boy.
No.
But they're actually printing titanium parts. So, we don't see it here at our level, but, I've always loved Star Trek. And I was always wanted that machine that you walk up.
Yep, the replicator.
And stop and think about it. Right now it's going to get to the point where you order online, and every month you get your supply of cartridges for your machine, and it says, well, you need to order these cartridges as well. They come in the mail. You plug them in. You download, and it spits you out what you ordered.
Yeah, all of a sudden you got your meatball sub out of what used to be your microwave, but now it's a replicator.
They 3D print food already. You know that, right?
Yeah, I'm sure they do.
So, all right.
I mean, you can go to the restaurant and you can pick out what kind of soda you want on that machine that, like, it looks like it has a computer screen, touch screen. It'll like mix together whatever chemicals, and it comes out. Here's your cup of soda.
All right,
It's
so
happening.
let me ask a serious question. I've been tossing softball smart ass shit at Corey. Now I'm gonna ask you a serious question.
Is it about beards?
It is not about beards at all. It has nothing to do with Corey, as a matter of fact.
Damn it.
Sorry, buddy.
Southern Style Beards LLC.com or SouthernStyleBeards.com.
That's right.
Oh yeah, hit him up.
What's your party in the USA?
That's right.
So my question is this: what does this mean? And like, I know this sounds like a softball question, but I'm being dead serious. What does this mean for the future of manufacturing? I mean, are we going to get to the point where every little startup can just like that and take over the world, or what? Because
if everybody's doing it, it's going to be kind of hard for everybody to take over the world.
I mean,
no, okay, you know what I mean, though. Like,
can you do stuff at home and make it yourself and turn it into a business? Yeah, that's America. We could do that already.
No. I mean, like, so all of us in the gun industry, we all hit our knees and bow to the Magpul gods, right? Magpul were the first people to make cool little plastic parts fit for every gun in the world. They make great stuff. I'm not shitting on Magpul at all. What I'm saying is, like, James, are you the next Magpul? Who's the next guy that's coming out with like the holy shit? Look at that thing.
That's why you got to go to SHOT Show.
No, but this is the thing, and I want you to understand this. This actually forces those companies to constantly stay on the cutting edge. And you as the consumer, you as
competition is fierce.
constantly driven forward because you had a guy and he could look at an object and go,
Speak into your microphone.
that's not right. And he turns around and he fixes it, but he's not a rocket scientist. He just saw what was wrong. So he fixes it. He forces these other companies to keep pushing forward. And all these little feeders, the little tributaries feed into the stream, feeds into the river. And I want you to kind of look at it like that.
Okay.
You're going to have a flood of small ideas feeding the big main streams. And the company might come by and say, dude, that's fantastic. Here's $1 million in a job.
So you're saying like my 3D printer thing, where the cooling fan that isn't on there for the tip. Some guy designs like that nice little C-shaped piece that blows air all around 360 degrees with one fan. He comes up with that idea at his home just because he sees the problem and can fix it. Now the manufacturer's thinking maybe they're thinking this, maybe they're not. Hey, we should add that style part to our machine. Maybe we can design something similar that's maybe not going to have any conflict with anybody else's stuff, or we're going to buy his idea or whatever. It pushes that forward. Keeps that innovation going forward.
There's actually guys throughout the history of auto mechanics that have built carburetors that get 200 miles per gallon.
And they all got killed off.
Well, okay. Well, $1 billion or one dude in his garage.
Yeah.
I want to go.
CIA assassinated them.
Let's not.
Shh. My Google phone heard you.
All right, I'm talking to my handler.
We're in 2018, right? I drive a 05 Honda Civic, not because it's glamorous and it's a panty dropper, but because it gets good miles per gallon. Now, you still look at like a 2018 Corolla, right? It still gets the same miles per gallon. Like, WTF. You're talking about 13 years difference. They can't make it better even after Obama and the EPA regulations.
And exactly, and they can make like the Corvette get 30 miles a gallon with a big V8.
Yeah, I mean,
okay,
to me, it's like not trying to be like not put on like my conspiracy like hat or anything, but I mean it's Look, automakers want to sell cars. Oil companies want to sell gas. Hey, but
it all started with the Bay of Pigs, man.
Hey, I'm still waiting for that scientific genius, Dr. Brown, to come around and say, he stole some plutonium, and, engineered some 121 gigawatts or 120 gigawatts, and it's
pinball game.
Yeah, he gave them some shoddy pinball parts and some casings, and pretty much just ripped them off. I mean, I'm still waiting for that DeLorean.
All at night. That's why.
Thank God you read that letter.
Yeah.
He was like, "Don't mess with the future. Don't want to know about my future." But
Corey, the bar was here, man. The bar was here, Corey, and you just always.
I know, right?
Overachiever.
I mean, how awesome. I mean, and there are people out there that are like that. Seriously, I mean,
yeah, no shit.
And they all go from, I made the atomic bomb, so I'm going to tell so and so and so and so, and here's my $25 billion payout. It's just the way it works.
You guys ready for this? You see that little piece right there on the standard little iPad?
Is that something Hillary gave you?
Yes. That's where I know all the bodies are at.
Jesus, man, you got me reaching for my mute button every 5 seconds.
This is actually a laser 3D scanner that you can put on your iPad to generate 3D models. So you can literally.
That's something else. I was looking at.
Pressure scanner. So you can actually use this to scan objects into 3D models, which you can print. And this came out 3 years ago. So the stuff they have now, I could actually do a full body scan of your bones. Not me personally, but I could 3D print you a bone and grow new bone or cartilage or whatever. So that's where they're at right now. But you're telling me you can't cure, like, I don't know, the common cold? We can 3D print laser scan parts in your own bone with stem cells, but we can't fix a cold.
So that's how like the Chinese copy our stuff pretty much.
Money
They pretty much just take a 3D scanner with them somewhere and spin it around, and then they put it into a software, and they be like, "Okay, we're machining your replica."
I'll be at SHOT Show in like 7 days, and there's gonna be a Chinese dude at the Right On Optics booth.
Yeah,
scanning something.
NC Starlight booth.
Is he going like this with his glasses?
Yeah.
I mean, and them people figured out how to stop growing their population. They just cut it down to like, you can only have one kid, and whatever happened. But they can't cure smog over there. They all have to wear masks. It doesn't make any sense. I don't understand.
Man, hashtag them people.
Yeah, I know, right? Like,
well, like the face mask is like they're very respectful.
Yeah,
I think they're just way in touch with their Michael Jackson, but that's just me. I mean, it's really bad when you have to import, more than you export to a country that's can't even help itself. I don't know.
So I was going to say earlier too about that 3D scanner thing. You're gonna see stuff like that, and if it's not, I'm sure it's out already. I imagine you just hook up to your phone, something that small, and be able to do a 3D rendering or something.
Yeah, you just need a different bracket that'll hook up to your iPhone.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It looks like it's somewhat big, though. Kind of. I don't know how big is it in relation to a phone, though.
This is the only unit, so that's only standard ballpoint pen.
Oh, okay. So it is that small. So you really could hook it up to your phone and just go scan something right at a booth somewhere and steal somebody's freaking idea.
I forgot to tell you, they have a mount to where you can put it in goggles. And it will not only create a virtual reality, but it will scan the structure around you. And actually, so in VR, if you threw a ball, it would actually bounce off the walls. So you would create a 3D image of the room you're in.
Wow.
And it would actually interact because it assigns physical characteristics in virtual reality. So the stuff that they're doing now, even on our consumer level, is just amazing. And, you wait, and you could actually generate, 3D models of working firearms, different things. You could create a virtual reality of a circuit and actually see how your current's flowing for your optics.
It's like Tron.
Yeah, why not? I mean, let me ask you that question. Why not?
Exactly.
And all these little ideas feed that big stream, and those mainstream companies are like, sold. I want that in production by next year because they know another company is going to beat them to it.
Mm-hmm. James, can I get the coordinates to your bunker?
Concealment.
What brand is that scanner?
It's the SDK structure scanner, I think.
SDA structure scanner.
Yeah,
it's the WikiLeaks 2.0.
No, I've been looking at them heavily for different stuff, and it's just I didn't know what was really good that's out there.
It's a structure sensor 3D scanning.
What are those roughly range in price for?
About $400.
That's not bad. I mean, really, when you think about the technology that's in it, I mean, that's an understatement, I guess. If it does that high quality of,
well, it's low quality, but the one I wanted was $5,000.
Yeah.
And the technology is still developing, so I'm going to hold off. But the point being is, if you, let's say, I sold like 5 guns and I saved that money for a year, and I decided to get one of these, and I turned around and I started.
Uh-oh, he froze up, or did I freeze up?
Uh-oh.
Talking to your microphone.
Damn it, Jim. Point being is,
sold your guns.
Yeah, you could do it. You could. I know guys that did working replicas of engines. All right, so they come up with a crazy idea for a small little engine, You know, because they want their own Exo-Armor Suit. Why not?
Wow.
Why not?
Wait, hold up. Did you say Exo-Armor?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a hydraulic or electrically motor-driven exoskeleton, and everything's already on the market right now. The biggest limiting factor is the portable power source.
I can't even spell 2/3 of them words. I am on the wrong broadcast tonight, man. I'm just gonna mute myself for this.
Nice. You know, yeah, the batteries have been a limitation, but that's technology. Batteries have gotten so much better now too.
Well, my thing too is like, all right, the batteries. Just kind of touching on batteries, like, not to bring this up really, but like the lefties. I won't call them liberals, but the lefties. They're all like,
Not the
we
South
gotta
Bars.
have green power. We gotta have green power. You know, stop the emissions and whatnot. But really, what they don't understand is like the amount of energy that goes into making like.
Your hybrid car.
Yeah, or the battery for. I mean, have you ever seen a lithium mine? As far as environmental goes,
It is. Yeah, it takes a lot
devastating.
more. Yeah, people don't realize that. Like they only see the tree, not the forest.
Right, and like, and the reality of it is like that battery may last you 120,000 or like 120,000, 150,000 miles, depending on your driving habits. But then you got to spend what $22,000 to $5,000 to get that battery replaced, and then it's like, where's it go now?
This is why I'm not a fan of hybrids.
How do you recycle that? You can't. But like a wind, I don't call it like a windmill, but a wind like generator. It's basically a windmill that just generates power.
Wind turbine, whatever.
Yeah, there you go. The amount of energy that goes into it, making it, that windmill would never produce that amount of energy again. Period.
I mean, just think. Really? I mean, those commie Prius factories out in California started those wildfires. I mean, I just can't believe it. I mean, that lithium battery, man, and those Priuses, I mean, they just poof right up. I don't get it.
There was a report, like, what was it? We had the Samsung phone that was doing that, and then like some laptops. You ever see a lithium battery burn? You can't just put it out. That burns hot.
I know. That's why it's taken months.
I think also that there is that huge smog cloud that actually gathered over the factories, and that just fed fires. The smog.
That sounds like a South Park joke. The smog.
Those damn Mongolians, I tell you.
I mean, and just stop it and think. You know, in 10 years, what's going to be coming down the pipe?
Dude, you're already 20 years ahead of me, so I'm screwed.
In 20 years, people just get more butt hurt easily.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it's still Santa Claus coming down the fireplace. That's all I know.
The fireplace is a chimney. He comes down the chimney.
Whatever.
Pops out the fireplace. Hopefully, it's not on.
Santa Claus will be called Amazon.
There you go.
Yeah. Yes. So anyway, I think we'll probably wrap stuff up here in just a moment. But one thing that was commented out here on YouTube land was Wheelchair Warrior said that Israel is on the forefront of exoskeleton development, and to be aware of this.
Everybody around him wants to kill him.
That is true. Man. I think the Palestinians might take it from them.
The exoskeleton idea is pretty cool, though.
The great thing about it is necessity is the mother of all invention, and you have to actually have each one of your guys worth 100 different soldiers in an opposing army. I mean, you will look at every advantage. The Merkava tank, you know, that actually led the way in a lot of different, you know, crew survivability, lethality. The Tavor. I mean, they actually come up with a lot of stuff. But here's the thing, you know, they have people that sit around and go like, how can we really fuck with them? Hey, you know what? Let's make a grenade machine gun. You know.
Yeah, that is awesome. I've seen one of the videos on that one was in action. That's just cool.
You know, so I mean, and you know, now if somebody comes up with an idea, they can prototype it. They have the software, the computers now at home that they can create models, and you know, why not?
There you go. So I'm going to wrap things up. If you guys got any last final thoughts, start with you, Corey.
Hey, I'm just trying to get a break from this this homework a little bit because it's driving me nuts. It's
Nice.
due in the morning, so I'm about halfway there. But
Is your website up yet, by the way?
no, we're finishing up the pricing now. We're supposed to be in talks with them this week.
Cool.
On getting some labels and stuff made. So
is it going to be southernstylebeards.com or something similar? Or?
Yeah,
okay.
southernstylebeards.com. All the joking aside, I mean, I'm just having a good time, and you know, I don't really take anything I say serious. I mean, that's what
either, don't worry.
That's what jokes are for, and if you can't joke around with your buddies and like literally make fun of people, I mean, what the hell are you going to do with your life? But that's besides me. But
I'm gonna go 3D print some parts once I get that.
I want a keychain because those look pretty cool.
I don't know if it'll be like that one, by the way, but we're coming with someone and definitely will hook you up.
I thought it looked like one of them USB drives.
That's exactly what I called it. I'm like, hey, look, I just designed a USB drive.
I was just like, oh, cool. That's where my files are going now. But
we can make it one somehow, I'm sure.
I know, but I mean, other than that, it's always fun being on here and learning about some 3D printing, especially when it comes to, like, you know, the stem cell research and the bone growth and stuff. Definitely health wise, that's definitely a very positive outlook on things.
Health and freedom.
Yeah.
Cool. So, I appreciate it. Thanks. And James, you got anything you want to throw out? Mentioned your website where you can find your products and everything too, like the Fang and your CYA concealment stuff.
I've just been informed that I can't comment on that.
Okay.
I swear, what are the Clintons doing to you? I don't understand. I'm gonna wake up dead tomorrow. I don't.
No, I would just say this: if you're gonna buy your kids some electronics, go out and spend $300 on a 3D printer and free software on the internet, and actually teach them a skill instead of, you know, because this is going to be the future. People say jobs are gone. They're not. Their jobs are becoming more technical. As technology advances, you know, the industries are going to advance, manufacturing is going to advance, design is going to advance. And the great thing about it is we're all collaborating online with a part. I could actually share model files with you guys. Everybody can add their little part, and we can send it to a print farm.
Yeah, didn't I send that to you? The keychain?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So you could do that, though, in a collaboration with people all across the country. So it's not a restriction of information. It should be a highway of information. Just people don't know how to use it. You know?
That's awesome. Yeah, exactly. And that's what it's about, trying to share stuff and make cool stuff and build it better and, you know, greater and everything, you know, and that's all of us together as people and, you know, products and make them better. I mean, yeah, there's money involved with this stuff and whatnot too, of course, but, you know, it is what it is. Cool. Well, thanks, James. And you want to see the website address, by the way, before we?
Yes. It's CYAconcealment.com and shootingstabilizer.com.
Awesome.
Are you guys still selling those backpacks?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. CYAconcealment.com. And Dustin, you got anything you want to wrap up with?
No, I mean, I just had a good old time. Yeah, it's been months since I've been back.
I know you told me you had some webcam issues and stuff, but no, I'm glad to have you back on. Appreciate you being here with us and everything, and hopefully we'll get together sometime in the next coming months or whatever and do something cool.
Yeah, man, just hit me up. Just let me know.
Definitely. And Kent, thanks again for being on. You got anything you want to mention? Throw out?
Yeah, I'm in awe, man. I wasn't expecting to learn anything at 10:15, 10:20, 10:30 at night. So
I didn't either, but
I'm impressed. And Dustin and James, thank you guys for coming on here and like bringing up a whole separate topic of what I was ready to come here and talk about, like a Ruger carbine or some gun shit. But this was awesome, man.
TJ got something new, and he was going to talk all about it and everything. And
I had my whole thing ready. I was all ready to talk about my new Ruger carbine. You know what? Screw the Ruger carbine.
We're going to cover that next week.
No. I'll build my own. I'm going to talk to James a week. I'll build my own rifle, and then we'll talk about it. I'll 3D print the whole son of a bitch. No. In all seriousness, now that you guys like, this is like this is real old school Americana ingenuity. This is the kind of stuff our forefathers built this country on. And good for you people for going out and doing this kind of stuff, because God knows I don't have the patience or the time, but I'm thoroughly impressed. So cool stuff. This has been the best show I've been on by far. So thank you guys for doing it.
We've been a little bit lax, and this one did come out, I think, a little bit better. I think, a little more energy and stuff. And it's
no, I'm not talking quality of the podcast. I'm talking like, I didn't expect to come on here and yeah. No,
we dropped some knowledge.
Yeah, we dropped some knowledge out here. And I wasn't involved with dropping any of the knowledge, but I was like next to the knowledge.
Well, you were, because you ask questions, and the questions help us extract that knowledge.
Questions is how you learn.
Questions is how you learn. That's gonna be a new T-shirt. Hell yeah!
Hooked up. Yeah, tell TJ.
He'll do one.
TJ's got some good stuff though. He does.
Another cool thing. I know you guys are talking about stippling, right? You can actually take these files. This is your blue gun, and you can create frames. So you can just reverse the model of this and actually create jigs that you can put down on your machines. So you have a frame, so this is positioned right.
Oh yeah, to hold it in place. That's awesome. Yeah.
Oh.
So
that's a very good point.
Yeah. So there's so many practical applications to this. And another guy came to me with old car parts, which they don't make.
Speak in your camera, because the echo messes up your audio.
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys.
That's much better. Right there is perfect.
Anyway,
can you 3D print a microphone?
Oh.
I'm sorry.
Hey, that's hitting where it prints.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, but so if you're a car enthusiast, you can actually mic out that part. And for those of you that don't know, that's the little wrench with the numbers on it. And you can 3D print a nylon piece for washers, all kind of gaskets that they don't make anymore. So you can have your own, and if you get good at it, it's a business. And that's
you can laser cut them. If you have a laser cutter, you can cut out. They make gasket material. You can cut it out with a laser, and there you go. It's exact what you need. Perfect. Yeah. That's the fun stuff about this. There's no limit to the creativity and what you can do. But anyhow, we're gonna wrap things up. Thank you again, James, and Dustin, and Kent, and Corey. All of you guys have been helpful with all the stuff we've been discussing tonight. It's pretty cool. And to our people out there watching, Ghost Tacticals out there as well, and YouTube land watching as well. Thanks. And Wheelchair Warrior. So they enjoyed the chat. Awesome. I'm glad. That's why we do this, to have fun, learn stuff. And all the guys out in gunchannels.com, go there and check it out. I appreciate y'all supporting the channel and clicking that like button and sharing these. If you'd like today's episode, please share it, on your social media channels and whatnot to help, spread the word. What we do. And if you want to support the channel, you can go to patreon.com/BigGunner81. Also, there's a link below the video for Amazon. This is at no cost to you. You can actually help support the channel just by making purchase through Amazon by following the link that's below the video. Doesn't cost anything different in your purchases, anything like that. But a small percentage goes to help the channel and stuff. And helps also further the project like the 50 States of AR-15 project that we've been working on, and so forth. And again, I want to thank our sponsors, Spin Precision, Applied Arsenal Finishes and Gunworks, Eggleston Munitions, and The Range at 355. Without all you guys out there watching, like I said, and our sponsors, it would be take some time to get some of the stuff done we want to do and share. So appreciate the support. And as always, until next time, have fun shooting.